Hey everybody. This video is going to show you how to sync over employee payroll information into the service program so that we can use it in the mobile devices on a task where you can keep track of employees' time on site and at the end of the day, post that to QuickBooks for payroll purposes. To begin, you first need to sync over timekeeping or the timekeeping records in QuickBooks. If you don't know how to do this, check out our other video on how to set up payroll information in QuickBooks. Once that's done, you want to come over here and click Reload to bring it over to the service program. Once it's done, we're going to click Close. For time purposes of this video, most of this is all the syncing has already been done, so I'm just going to show you how to do this. Once it's synced over, you want to go to MISC Info, System, and then User Maintenance. Locate your employees. These are our route drivers right now. These are also the route names on the route schedule, R1 and R2. And I went ahead and I picked a QuickBooks employee out of QuickBooks. Once that's done, we can click Close. Cool little feature is as an employee, you can associate a crew to a particular route. So for example, on the route schedule, if I double click on the route name, I'm brought to the route sub-assigned list. And I want to turn R1 into a crew. I want to add him and another route driver like R2, for instance. I simply double click on R1 and go to crew detail and see that, and you simply pick the employees off of the list here so that whenever I select, whenever R1 is loaded onto a task, R2's time record and his name will also show up on that task. So I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to close this again. And now we need to sync mobile devices, and we need to sync core files. The syncing of core files will get that user list information to the mobiles, the credentials, the security levels, including the employee time records. If you need to, and if you changed some records in the route schedule like we did, we added the crew times, you also will want to sync routes. After the sync is done, we can then log into the mobile devices. And right now, I'm looking at a task that was synced over to the mobiles. This task is assigned to R1. But remember, R1 is now has a crew member also as R2. So those two employees are attached to this task. When I open the task up, we can collapse these columns. And I want to expand the time tracking column here. Once you're, as soon as you expand this, you're going to see after you hit the arrival time that the time gets logged for both employees. Remember, we added R2 as a crew member. So R2's time record followed along into the task, along with R1. When we hit either arrival or departure time, it will update both crew members. Another thing you can do, and maybe in the event another employee is done early and he needs to join this job, he shows up on site, you can manually add an employee or another crew member to the job. Simply enter their name, start and end time, and click add, and the system will simply add it to the time log and track it as well. Once you're done, we're going to expand the footer and we'll mark this as completed. Don't forget, throughout the day, you want to sync tasks back and forth. This will bring back any completed work order in the field, and you can start processing and viewing the work completed so far. After you sync tasks, what will happen is we will now see the time record show up under the employee time tracking record found right over here under miscellaneous. Click this little drop down and select that. And you see that R1 and R2, both employees, got tracked for 3 minutes on site. You can then go ahead and click Post to QuickBooks to have this record applied to the employee's timekeeping in QuickBooks for payroll purposes. This list also shows you what task that this tracking is being tracked for. If you double click on the transaction number, you have some more options. And you can post this individual record to QuickBooks, leaving the other ones on the list. That's it. If you have any questions, please email training@westromsoftware.com. And don't forget our twice daily open forums, which you can access at support.westromsoftware.com. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.